Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Just give me a second here. I'm here. Just give me a second. Okay, you guys, what's going on? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for another lit live chat of Tory Lanez being found guilty of all counts in the Megan Thee Stallion case. We are back once again. We already went live earlier today when the verdict was first dropped. Now we're back today. Now, no, not back today, but now we're back later on in the day so I can give the people a chance to speak on this case. There's been a lot of conversation. There's been a lot of things that has been said. There's a lot of people that are pissed. There's some people that said that this was a judicial miscarriage. I'm sorry, but that was funny as hell when I saw that. But yeah, that's the tea up in this bitch right now. Now I'm just gonna let you guys know we're not gonna be on here all night, honey. I swear to God, we're not. We're only gonna be on here for an hour, okay? Mainly 50 minutes because at the 10-minute mark, I'm definitely going to drop the link and allow my moderators and everybody to allow my moderators to turn pass the link around, like constantly put it in the chat so everybody can see it and be able to do it. Now here's the thing. These are the ground rules for tonight's live chat, okay? These are the rules. No over talking. No over talking. No disrespecting. If it's a whole bunch of folks up here at one time and there's people that's trying to get in, the people that's been up there the longest has to drop. The first 2 or 3 people that's been up there the longest has to drop so other people can come up. Don't fight me on that. That's just what we're doing tonight. I want everybody to get a chance to talk. A lot of the times, everybody don't get a chance to. We always have the same people up here a lot of the times, which I don't mind, but I do want everybody to get a chance to speak. So with that being said, ain't no except me, Catherine. If you've been up there the longest, your ass gotta go. If the chat is full and people trying to get in, everybody gotta go. I don't give a damn who it is. If you've been up there the longest, it ain't no need for you to be up there. Let somebody else get up there. I'm just saying, whoever been up there the longest, you gotta go. I'm just saying. You gotta be fair. That's all I'm saying. So we ain't even gonna start at the 10-minute mark. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling right now. Cause like I said, we only got an hour. We only gonna be up here for an hour. We're not gonna be up here all night. Cause I gotta be up at 6 a.m. to go to work. And also thank you for this one right here. If you're not talking, please mute yourself. We don't need to be hearing no extra shit. If you ain't talking, mute yourself. I don't want to hear the TV in the background. I don't want to hear nobody yawning and burping and snoring, all that other crazy shit. If you ain't talking, put yourselves on mute, please. Please put yourselves on mute. Because sometimes it'd be difficult sometimes. So I want y'all to put yourselves on mute if you're not talking. Now I'm finna drop this link now. The link is there. So if you're ready, go on up here. It's 129 of you guys up in here already. Y'all must have got the notifications for this live, honey, because the last few lives we've been up here doing, I can barely get this in 6 minutes, child, like I normally do. Okay, as the people are coming in backstage, light this chat up, everybody. Go ahead and light it up. And I see some different people up here. These ain't the same people I normally see up here. Light this chat up, y'all, as I let everybody up. Hold on, y'all. Let me figure out a way to get this. Yes, you finally caught the live, honey. I wonder if YouTube sent out the notifications today. I wonder if I'm back in the fucking algorithm like I'm supposed to. Okay. Okay, so we got the first 5 people up here. There's still room for more people to come up if they want to. And we're going to start this off with May May. I think what we're going to do is we're going to allow everybody to speak their piece one at a time, and then we can all have a conversation all at the same time. So go ahead. Go ahead, May May.
Hey, Scotty, how
How
are
you
you?
doing? I'm
I'm doing
good.
fine. First of all, I love your channel, and I absolutely love the coverage you've been doing on this trial. It was hectic.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God, I have never unfriended, blocked, cussed out so many people in my life. I swear to God. When I tell you, I'm so serious. I done added this to my new little first date questionnaire, baby. I need to know what was your thoughts, cause that I already know we can't rock together, baby. If your thoughts the wrong way, but
Hold on,
I
wait. Because somebody coming in my chat wants some attention. So let me give them the attention that they want. Hey, Chef Dun Dun. Yes, I did start some shit with your ass on Twitter because I wanted to. And where are you now? In my chat. Continue to watch me. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you good, but just the whole situation, it really baffles me because number one, regardless of all the emotional fluff they tried to throw in, the facts were still the facts. And you could not deny the facts, no matter how y'all would have felt about the girl's sexual history, no matter how somebody may have felt about her friendship with Kelsey or whatever. The facts were still the facts. And it just amazes me that as a community, y'all go up for these male rappers that get shot. Y'all go up for these male rappers that kill people. Y'all have more sympathy for when a male rapper is unalived than when somebody of proven violence, as Mr. Toupee, and nobody wants to call it for what it is. Literally, multiple women have gone on different accounts, letting people know what he's done. And he does it every time. He does the assault abuse. He comes out, he lies about it. Then, when he gets outed about it, he wants to do a smear campaign on these people, bully them, and then he's still found guilty at the end of the day. And the fact that majority of his fan base was based in this situation alone just proves how far behind we are as a society. It's utterly disgusting, and it absolutely makes no sense to me.
Before you move on to the next person, as far as his fan base is concerned, I'm just trying to figure out when the hell he started getting fans.
Thank you. When he came out with that album, me personally, I only heard him from one feature song. Me personally, I have never seen people go up for this man until this happened in 2020.
Exactly.
Never in my life. Can't nobody tell me that. Like, I just like R. Kelly. It was like when that whole thing happened with R. Kelly and he came out with that whole I Admit It stuff, everybody was blowing that shit up. I'm not understanding. I don't get it.
I don't think none of us do. Oh my god. Okay. Maya, you're next.
Hey Scotty, how you doing, boo?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to let you know, I don't know about anybody else up here, but I got the notification. So I guess that means you're back in the algorithm.
Thank you.
um, I wanted to state that this whole time with the trial, I've always believed the facts of what it is that he shot her, but I was shocked that he got guilty on all 3 charges, not because I never thought there was a chance that he didn't do it, but because this is the same judicial system that acquitted R. Kelly when there's tape of him peeing on a child.
Mm.
So I would have not been shocked, honestly, if he would have gotten away with it. This world, this country, people in general don't care about Black women the way they say they do. People don't believe that protect Black women is something that should even be a thing. So that's something I wouldn't have been shocked to say if he would have gotten off. But I just want to say that I cannot wait for tomorrow morning, because that apology tour that many a black men need to go on, I don't care if they have to cry tears. I need these black men who completely disrespected and disregarded the words of a black woman just because one black man made a good feature. And I'm not going to lie, it was a good feature on another white man's song. Like, that feature that he's known for is literally on Jack Harlow's song. And that's the only reason people act like, oh my God, maybe Tory didn't do it because he made good music. So good music is an excuse to shoot black women, just like it was an excuse for R. Kelly to pee on little black girls.
Hmm.
People don't care. People like to say they care. Like, so many people are even coming out of the woodworks now saying, I always believed it, but I didn't want to say nothing because we wanted to hear the other side. There is no other side. He shot that black woman. I don't care if she lied about sleeping with him. That's not what this is about. Her lying about who she gave her vagina to is nobody's business. And I don't know what they could get Kelsey for, but they need to get her for something. They need to get her for, I don't care if it's, I don't know if they could get her for perjury, because a lawyer I follow on TikTok was like, the way Kelsey said it, she might have been able to get out of it in a way. So maybe they can't get her for perjury, but they need to get her for something, because Kelsey is the definition of your closest friends be your biggest haters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I had to say.
Okay, Catherine, you're next.
Child, first of all, let me just say, yeah, I got the notification. Y'all already know I got you set up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. Number two, like I've been saying in the comments, they need to charge his tired ass mammy for naming him Daystar, because that started all the abuse. You knew that nigga was gonna get picked on by having a name like that. That's why the nigga became abusive. Okay, all jokes aside, though, I was shocked too that they found the nigga guilty, because I was like, the way that they was really giving reasonable doubt, I'm like, God damn. Shit made me feel like I shot Megan even though I wasn't there. But at the end of the day, nigga guilty. I'm proud of the judicial system, and me and Monique's gonna have to see each other about something, because helper, you ain't had to say nothing like that.
Exactly. Tiffany.
Hey, Scotty. First of all, I do love your channel, so thank you so much for covering this like thoroughly. I appreciate it.
No
Um,
problem.
but I will say this first. I'm just really, really, really happy that Meg is getting justice. Because I'm not gonna lie, while I never doubted for a second that Tory was guilty, based off of just listening to certain vloggers and just people media, right?
Mm-hmm.
It did seem like it was going to end up low-key in a mistrial. You know what I'm saying? Because they were painting it in this like, and here's the thing, I was watching people who actually were like watching the court case like adamantly, and I was listening to people that were reading transcripts. So based off of the transcripts I read, I felt like the jury has common sense, but at the same time, that just goes to show the power of the media. Because even with me having that knowledge, I still wasn't 100% sure based off of the information that was being promoted online and stuff, because it was so false. So I'm just like, well, which is which? But I always thought he was guilty. And if anything, for me, I'm just upset that Kelsey was not put on that ticket. I hate that the prosecution missed the ball of prosecuting her ass as well, because I feel like people keep thinking that it was one or the other, as if two things can't be true. Why are y'all taking, or not y'all, but people are assuming because Kelsey seems like she's guilty that his ass is not guilty as well? They both could have been involved, and that could have been why her ass was granted immunity. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because she was involved does not implicate that he wasn't, because there was nothing about her testimony that made me feel like he was innocent. And I feel like that was the biggest thing, because they kept talking about Meg is a whore. Look, let me say something. None of us are here to judge her like individually as an individual, nor should we, by the way, but morally as a friend, none of that was the case. Like the man, like in school when we had to read those little small paragraphs and pick out the main idea. Well, the main idea of this whole entire case was who shot Meg. That was it. That was the main idea. All the other shit was smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the facts. She was shot with his gun. The bullet fragments came from his gun. He owned it. He had gun residue. He had a witness. Case closed. Like all the other shit was stupid to me. I don't even know why. If I was a jury member, I would have been pissed off, wasting my time listening to all of that. Because it's like, who cares? You know, facts are facts. Now, whether Kelsey shot the gun as well, that's another story, and that's up for the prosecution because they didn't add her to the ticket. They tried to use her as a witness, but at the end of the day, that nigga was guilty, and I'm glad she got justice. And you know, I just hate that even though she got justice, honestly, it's not gonna get better for her. I don't think. I think it's actually gonna get worse because these niggas out here big mad, and even women, don't ask me why, but they mad too, and they gonna be dragging for her for a while, and I hate that because she doesn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? At least not based off of this. And that's all I gotta say.
Okay, before we move on to, because this thing has kind of taken this shit out of whack, so I don't know who was after Tiffany, but I need the first two people that was up to drop at this point because there are people trying to get in. But if you want to come back in later on, you can, if I'm still on. So I need the first two that spoke to drop. Thank you. Who was after?
Hold up, real quick, Scotty.
Okay.
Can you drop me? Because I'm trying, but it's not.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I got you. Who was after Tiffany?
It was me, but I fell off.
Okay, who was me, child?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Bab.
Yeah. The first thing that I wanted to say is like paying attention to the trial. At first, I was mad at Kelsey for the way that she testified, but as the trial went on, I could see why she did this, testify the way she did, because she was as implicated in what happened as Tory was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so if she hadn't tried to get immunity or tried to plead the fifth, she could have implicated herself. The second thing that I took from the trial was that Tory's lawyers basically screwed him over because they brought that eyewitness up there who put a gun in his hand and also said that he shot her. And then also they're the ones who, because of the technicality that they allow for Kelsey's recorded testimony to come into trial. And I think those are the two things that actually got him convicted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are my two takeaways.
Okay. LL Shady Gal, you next.
Ooh-wee. I've been waiting on this one. Oh, you know, because I ran it down for you Wednesday when they brought out their witness. I'm like, oh crap, they done changed up the case.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was gonna happen happened. Because I'm like, look, I'll be real with you. Keep it a buck. It wasn't looking good for Mad Case until his defense team dropped the ball. Like the previous caller said, they aggressively made it seem like the prosecutors harassed and harangued Kelsey into making the confession that she did in September. Because they did that, because the judge wasn't going to allow it in, they had to show the tape and show that, no, she was volunteering all those details. They weren't pressuring her. She came in there and read the book from the front to the back. Was telling them any and everything, the tattoo on his butt cheek, everything. And then they brought in they own witness, Kyle, came in and said, no, short dude fired 4 or 5 times randomly. And I'm just like, you brought this fool in. Did y'all not vet him? And not only did he put the gun in Tory's hand, the man came behind with the audio from his home security because apparently he was broke and couldn't afford video. And the court report said you can hear one shot. That's Kelsey. She fired first. And then you hear a consecutive 4 or 5 shots that can only come from another shooter. And with what he said, seeing the gun in Tory's hand, and what Meg said when she turned around and saw it was Tory with the gun, bam, he got the gun. That with the gun residue, yeah, boy, you going to jail. You had 3 assault charges. You already had a charge before about, being convicted. You're not supposed to have a gun. Bam, you got the gun. We see the discharge of the firearm. We got the audio and your eyewitness saying that you shot 4 or 5 times. That's the other one. And
Mm-hmm.
then you fired randomly, which is how the girl ended up with fragments in both of her feet. And they showed, like, when the prosecutors closed out the arguments, they showed her X-rays, and they did that to show that not one bullet could have caused all these fragments in her feet. Maybe one foot, but they were in both of her feet, which means him shooting randomly is how the girl ended up with the fragments. It's the same thing as somebody shooting a gun in the air. When you shoot the gun in the air, baby, the bullets got to come down. They come
Mm-hmm.
down, they hitting somebody. Now I know a lot of people just was in their feelings and stuff and wanted to hear what they wanted to hear. But if you paid attention to the people who were reporting very unbiased on Twitter, like Megan and that guy James, after Wednesday, you knew who was going to jail because everything lined up. Now people just in their feelings, and I hate that Meg is still being dragged for this, but this fool did this. He got a history of beating on women,
Mm-hmm.
going after multiple stars, beating on them and lying and using his team to lie. Like, this ain't your hero. This fool ain't nobody hero. He a punk that got caught. He a gremlin. And his dad and his parents out there cursing, pulling a Danae Jackson, cursing the public, talking about Rock Nation will fall for their treachery and all this other stuff. I'm like, this didn't work out too well for Danae when she cursed people about her marriage and ended up divorced a month later. So I'm gonna need y'all to hold back on that curse. He might lose more hair. Shoot, he might end up with Big Bubba as a clank clank mate. You don't know what's gonna happen when you give out that type of energy.
Oh my god.
Better not drop the soap.
The bar soap, you might want to help Tory. Like you said over Tony. Michelle, you a mix.
Well, can I just say this real quick?
Go
He might
ahead.
not want to have Jangalang for a roommate either. Or a
Oh my
cellmate, I should
god.
say. My name Jangalang. They're gonna find out why his name Jangalang before anybody else do. Just saying.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Sorry. Well, first, I just want to say, like, every day I understand more and more why Tina Turner left and escaped America and went to Europe, because the judicial system does not honor Black women. And this is like one of the rarest cases that they actually did. And I think it's because it was so cut, clear, and dry, and to the point that she was shot and that she's a victim. But from Tina Turner to Michelle A to Megan Thee Stallion, like, women are victims, Black women are victims of domestic violence. And instead of them being protected, they are vilified, and their abusers are protected and coddled just because they have a cute song. Like, it's just ridiculous. But I also wanted to touch on the whole Rock Nation management and 1501 thing, because I honestly realized that people do not know what the difference between a management company and a record label actually is. She signed to 1501. That is her label. Rock Nation is her management company. So how the hell can Rock Nation truly have any type of impact on the state of California, charging Tory Lanez, Daystar Peterson with anything? The conspiracies are just so ridiculous because y'all try so hard, not y'all, but people try so hard to not believe that a Black woman is a victim. And so that's all I have to say. It's just that it's just ridiculous. But thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that. First of all, I appreciate everybody that's been coming up in here, giving their opinions. It's been a very subdued conversation that I appreciate, because normally it gets chaotic up here. The only time I will allow the chaoticness is when we're talking about bullshit like not loving hip hop. Oh my God, loving Bear Jonesville. Tracy, you're next.
So, what y'all bringing to the deportation party? Cause I'm just waiting for him to be deported, honey. We're playing all Meg songs the entire time as we deport you out of the U.S. I think my thought is, if you listen to some of the things that we seen and heard on Twitter, and then you listen to people who were in the courtroom, it was like you got a different version of the trial because you've seen people's biased and how things were skewed. And then you never know like who was biased and who wasn't if you didn't like really follow them or somebody didn't tell you because they did the research to be like, oh no, they're this or that. So I think I want us to go back. I want us to actually have the ability to see the trials so we can see it for ourselves, right? Because maybe we wouldn't have thought the whole time that Meg was losing if
Mm-hmm.
if we had a clearer picture of what happened and we can kind of make our own decisions, right? Because let's be honest, most of people don't have the hours to sit there and read transcripts where you could possibly listen to, like I listened to the Young Thug thing. I just listened to it like in the background while I work. So I can listen to it play, but I'm not going to sit there and read the whole transcript. So maybe we should maybe want more transparency so that we don't feel like, because I feel like maybe we were all getting upset and it really wasn't as bad as some people were making it sound in the courtroom, but we don't know because we weren't able to see,
Mm,
which is annoying.
most
So
definitely.
we need some more unbiased people to report information, not team whoever or whoever. We just need people who don't get paid by someone to give us reported information. But I'm just gonna need y'all all to be at the deportation party when we get him up out of here. Cause I'm gonna try and throw Tristan third trimester Thompson on the plane too. I'm gonna try and throw him up in there.
And
Drake can
throw
go
Drake
back
too.
too. Look, we can throw Drake up in there, and I mean, if I could just squeeze the baby in between them, cause he tiny anyway, I might squeeze him up in there, and they might not even realize if I just pack him in a little suitcase and roll him up out of here too, cause I just need them all to go. Like America got enough problems. We don't need y'all misogyny. Like we don't need it. Y'all can.
The only Canadian that's really allowed here is Celine Dion, and that's it. Wendy said it best the last time we talked about this on the live chat.
And Tamia Grant, because she's Canadian too.
I don't count
Oh,
her. I don't count her. She
okay.
black.
Okay, Lauren, you're next.
Hey, Scotty. It's
Hey,
been
how
a
you doing?
minute.
Yes, it
But
has.
yes, so I have been feeling pretty indifferent about this whole process or this whole case. I think that there are definitely a lot of lessons to be learned. Honestly, the only person that I truly feel bad for in this whole situation is Kelsey. And that is because I feel like she was the one who was sidelined by everybody in this, Meg, Tory, everybody. She was the only one who did not know what was going on. I think that this whole situation came from a group of messy people, having a wild night that just went terribly, terribly wrong. Um, do I think that Megan is responsible for being shot at? Like, no, of course not. That would be idiotic. But I do not believe that she is, how do I want to say this? Because I don't want to say that she's not innocent. That's not the word I'm looking for. I just feel like she approached this whole situation in the wrong manner. She approached this trying to save her reputation and really just trying to come out as unscathed as possible. And I think that that is what really caused a lot of people to doubt her throughout this whole process. Because going into this, it was this whole protect black women like campaign that she was like going on, and she didn't tell on Tory because she wanted to protect a black man. And it's like all of this um BLM like rhetoric, this very like emotionally charged rhetoric was, I feel like she was honestly using that to really cover up her wrongs. And I feel like that is what muddied the waters for her. And I feel like if she was just honest about the whole situation from the beginning, people would not have attacked her as viciously as they have and as they are. Like, because if we zoom out, let's be honest, like from what we've learned from this case, Megan is not necessarily, the most, loyal, chillest person, from what, her persona was. And, everyone isn't perfect, but I feel like if she came out and was like, listen, I was on some like trifling stuff and this is what this argument was about. This is how me and my friend fought and we were all like drunk and stuff just like went left. I feel like if she had said that, people would have been like, you know what, like people would have given her more props for being honest as opposed to her going on an interview, literally lying on national television. Does she owe us the truth? No, but I'm just saying that that is what has contributed to a lot of the backlash that she's gotten. In terms of Tory, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to deify him. I think that he is a completely trash person. Um, I think that he is as has as low of moral character as Megan, because from him, trying to point the finger at her and say, "Hey, look at how disloyal you are," basically going behind your friend's back, but you're the dude that's going behind these two women, participating in that. Um, I don't really know how I feel about the verdict. I mean, of course, I'm happy that Megan, she suffered like serious injuries and now she's receiving justice for that. Um, I don't think that he deserves, a whole like 20 something years or whatever. I just think that this whole situation was unnecessarily muddied. Um, and it was just super messy for no reason. And I feel like everyone was lying by omission, which is to me, honestly, more annoying than someone just saying outwardly false information because you are trying to create a completely different narrative, and you're being manipulative in doing so. Um, I don't know. I just feel like one major lesson is really make sure that you vet your friends, even friends that you've known for years. Just take a step back and look at the relationship that you've had, look at your interactions, and really, sit down and think about whether this is someone that you want to continue to have a relationship with. Um, and I mean, I think the justice system did its thing. I just think that it was a whole wild situation that did not need to get to this point. And honestly, like I said earlier, my feelings are with Kelsey. I feel like she was really betrayed by Megan and Tory, and I think that how she acted on the stand was really just a reaction to um, literally being basically having the rug pulled from under her feet by her friend and this guy that she was messing with, building a relationship with. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy, but I'm happy that it's finally over.
Most definitely. Okay, Holmes, okay. So so people are trying to come in. So Catherine and Tiffany, I'm gonna need for you guys to drop since y'all been up here the longest. And Catherine can scope this damn chat like she always do.
I'm gonna get these folks together in these comments because they're getting on my nerves,
Oh
being
Lord.
disrespectful.
Please don't do too much now, because you know how you do.
I'm not even gonna do nothing. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say please be respectful. Just
Okay.
because y'all don't agree with what other people are saying, don't
Oh
mean y'all
yeah.
gotta sit up here and say next caller. That's disrespectful because you wouldn't want nobody to do it to near one of y'all in the comments.
All right. Okay.
All right now, bye bye.
All right. Go ahead, Holmes. You're next.
All right, so first things first, Scotty, I am a ghost watcher of you. I've been watching
Oh,
you for
okay.
years. Um, I don't dip in the comments much, but I like to see other people's opinions. So I love you. I've been watching
Love
you
you too.
forever, and I'm glad that you allowed me. This is my first time on StreamYard, so people don't judge me, okay? Um, this whole trial, I'm probably going to be the only one to say this, but I feel like they should be a mistrial, only because it was so messy and it was so much shit going on. Um, and I have to ask a question too.
Okay.
Was there residue found on his hands or not? Because I've been seeing different stories.
It was residue found on his hand and Kelsey's hand.
Okay, okay. Um, it's just it's a mess, and honestly, like Megan, she been doing a lot. When everything first popped off, um, I feel like she did a lot of lying, and no way, shape, or form do I feel like abuse. I'm a woman, of course, and I don't feel like a man abusing a woman or shooting a woman or doing whatever is okay. That in no way, shape, or form. It's just too many inconsistencies in this whole thing, and that's where like public opinion comes in because everybody has their own thing about what happened. We weren't there, but when you jumble everything together, is just a complete and total mess. And I feel like there needs to be a do-over, to be honest. um I don't like Tory. I don't like him. I don't like him. Some of his music is okay, but I don't like him based on all the stories that I've heard about him and the things that he's done out the years. So I feel like the jury's decision was based on that. I feel like even though they're not supposed to, listen to outside factors and things that he's done in the past, I honestly feel like that played a factor in the decision that was made today. And I don't know, it's just the facts is all fucked up. And I don't mean to curse, excuse my
No,
language,
that's
but
fine.
it's just real, like, it's just real confusing. And it's hard because both sides, all three sides lied from the beginning. So it's hard to determine what's the truth and what's real. Yeah, I mean, what's fake, what didn't happen. So, I mean, that's all I wanted to say. I'm not trying to be up here for a long time, but that's just how I feel. I feel like it needs to be a do over, and people need to get their shit together, and you know, let's get to the bottom of this shit because I'm tired. I'm tired. I've been following this since the beginning, and it's just I can honestly say I've been swaying towards Tory, even though I don't like him, swaying towards Meg. So it's just it's a lot going on, but that's all. And thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me up here, and I will drop down so somebody else can come up.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Okay, Essence, you're next.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm looking at it from a whole different angle, so please bear with me. I want to talk about the hypocrisy of internet culture because on one end, even though the black community didn't really chime in on the Me Too movement. On one end, we're very pro, like women are victims, hear the victims, believe the victims, and then in the next breath, it's whatever's going to get the most clicks and views,
Mm-hmm.
even if it means discrediting a actual victim. Now, what I will say is I'm Team Megan, and I'm very happy that she got justice. Period. I do think the whole entire court proceedings was very sketchy, and I did predict a mistrial, but I'm happy that didn't happen because I feel like Megan getting justice is so important. So with that being said, I'm just really tired of the exploitation of Megan's trauma. At this point, I feel like it's very, very disgusting. There's so many people online right now. And please excuse me for switching topics, but even back to the Tiffany Haddish thing, people cared about that for about 3 or 4 days. It was the hottest topic. Let's protect the kids. Let's protect the kids. And then something else happened right after that, and nobody gave a crap. So I'm just tired of the exploitation. I'm tired of the hypocrisy of like the internet. And I think that we need to really not so much rally behind Megan, but really keep our eye on the way that people reported this news trial or whatever the case may be, because it's giving the math ain't mathing, and that's just my opinion. I feel like Kelsey threw the trial or tried to throw it. You feel me? I feel like she was being very shady with her testimony. I feel like, in my opinion, Megan got shot. I feel like Tory was definitely an aggressor. In my opinion, I think the jury really saw that this was a menace,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "Oh no, lock him up. He got to go." So I'm happy they saw through his facade, but I thought the court proceedings were very sketchy, and that's just
I
why.
agree. All right. Well, thank you, Essence. I enjoyed your commentary, honey.
Oh
I
yes, I
enjoyed
love
it.
your channel, Scotty. I'm always kicking under your Potomac reviews all the time.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh my God. Let me pat myself on the back. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Even in the panel settings that you guys do, I still really enjoy you amongst the group. So I had to follow you. You know that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate all the
You're
love. Thank
welcome.
you. All right. Tia, you're up next.
Hey, Scotty.
Hey, how you
Big,
doing?
big fan.
Oh,
Love your
thank you.
content. I like how funny you are. You're just like your natural Aquarius like self, and I love Aquarius.
Why,
But
thank you.
but anywho, I was not gonna say anything because I was like, this is just like a cluster F of just a mess. And what it kind of comes down to is, can two things be true? Yes. But at the end of the day, y'all know Oompa Loompa sat there and shot that girl. Like, I'm just tired of everyone like, well, the gunpowder it was inconclusive. No, they said it was on him. Gunpowder residue was on him. I don't understand why we are all confused about it. Now, whatever happened between Kelsey, Oompa Loompa, and Megan is not between us. It's, did you shoot the gun? Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have bullet fragments in her foot? Absolutely. At the end of the day, they got it right. And if you're gonna defend the Oompa Loompa, send that money for his deportation. Leave it alone. That's all I gotta say. All right, Scotty. I've said what I need to say. I'm done.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Look, oh my God, child. I'm trying to put this shit back in the right spot, child. Like ugh, this is, I hate it when she do this. Go ahead, May. You back again, child. Come on.
Hey. So hearing other people's commentary, it made me relay on other things that I thought about during the situation. And I just want to say before I say this, please do not take offense. This is what discussions are about. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What a lot of people are forgetting is, in these cases, we are not looking for the perfect victim, y'all. We are looking for sound evidence that can put you in position to make sense. All this all this extra feelings about, oh, she may have lied about who she had sex with, or whatever messiness were involved in their friendships, nothing negates the fact that from the beginning she named who her violator was. Not one time did she implement that it was somebody else, or even insinuate that it could have been another person. The witness also confirmed and backed her when he said that he saw the shots fire off in Tory's hands, and the victim being Meg turning and seeing Tory with the gun. That's who she named. That's
Mm-hmm.
credible, y'all. Then also, another thing that people don't want to take is, regardless or not, Kelsey was definitely being petty, because initially you offered this information. They didn't have to badger you for it. And you were very clear and concise about what your testimony was. But now you want to try to get backs, baby. This is not the way to do it. And that's gonna eat you up in the end. I promise you. Because it was a crime still committed, regardless of how you may have felt about her. And like I said, everybody is forgetting we're not looking for the perfect victim in these cases. We're looking for the facts, and we are looking for facts to credit the victim's accusation. period.
Mm-hmm.
And not
Period.
only that, it's really my heart really goes out for Megan, because not only is she going through trauma of losing her parents, not only is she going through that trauma, she's also being badgered. When she's been screaming it the whole time, it's like you in the street, you suffocating, you asking people to see you, and they just walking past you, letting you die. That's literally what it's been like. And for years, since 2020, she's been fighting this same scarlet letter, which is what they also do, try to put the scarlet letter against a woman to make her not credible. But that doesn't matter. I don't care if it was a prostitute working on the street. If she got raped, she got raped. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
What she does with her spare time is no business to what this case is about. And not only that, this is a man, once again, who has multiple people that have came forward and exposed him for abuse and assault. We have seen it with our own eyes. The very recent one that we saw was with August, and he went on social media just like with Meg and lied and said that he wasn't even in the vicinities when he was there. The man lied and said he was at the studio. Then the video released of him punching this man in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. That's his MO. He is literally a communal narcissist. You do things, you commit these crimes, then you want to start a smear campaign, and of course, especially against women. Having that scarlet letter, it is so damaging to women. Nobody can tell me different. Because as soon as they applied that scarlet letter to her, nobody wanted to listen to her. They already didn't like her because she liked to twerk and shake her ass and make music talking her shit. So that didn't help. She's a grown ass woman. She can make that type of music. She can do whatever she want to do. What does that have to do with somebody literally committing a violent crime against her? And a lot of people fell into that smear campaign because they got a lot of internalized hate they self.
Mm.
And like I always say, it will never matter to people until it happens to them. Let this been a case where somebody did that to you, the men and women that are backing this man, you will be singing to the cows come home for somebody to convict your abuser, to convict your violator. But woe is me. She shake a little ass, so she can't be a victim. I don't get that. I would
Ooh.
literally die by the stake with that. I would never understand that. And it really, as a society, it kills me, because this is why so many women do what she do. They lie to protect, because they know on the back end, it is so much easier to just take the backlash and just eating it and dying within than speaking your truth, because shit like this happens. Just bringing it back to an example, when that stuff happened with R. Kelly, all these people was blaming these children. Oh, they fast. They this. They that. Woo woo. What does that have to do with this grown ass man violating these underage and adolescent girls? I really want to make that make sense. Nothing that when y'all take the emotional standpoint out of it, a lot of y'all just really just need to realize that y'all are just too emotional to have any logical forethought. Because it can be right there in your face, baby, and y'all still don't get it.
Ooh.
And it's unfortunate. It's sad as hell. But I really pray for her healing, because it literally going through that, even this to this point, this man violated the restraining order and showed up to her show when he was pulled on stage by the other little gremlin, the baby. And nobody want to, everybody forget that happened. This man literally had an active restraining order, and he still hopped his little Beijing wearing ass on stage, taunting this lady, and she couldn't do nothing about it because everybody was already against her. That's sad. It's honestly sick. But I just pray that everybody stay clear, that it does not happen to y'all. I really do, because I really don't wish that on nobody. For the people that were hitting her up like this, I really hope that never happens to you or nobody you connected with, because you will literally eat your words if it has to turn back on your own skin.
Ooh.
But
all right.
But y'all, let me hear what the rest of y'all got to say, girl. I'm interested, honey.
Ooh, you cleared the room, honey. Ooh.
But,
okay. Mia, you're next. You next, girl.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. I kept hitting that unmute button and it wasn't doing nothing. Okay,
Okay.
so hi, Scotty.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, this is my first time calling in. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Oh, okay, girl. I was just about to say what people hate for me to say. I was about to say, girl, I ain't nobody, but I ain't gonna say that.
No, I've been following you for a while, and I'm, not much of a commentator, but anyway, I just wanted to say that I 100% agree with May, what she said about, a juror not really needing a perfect victim. So I was on a jury case for an attempted murder trial, and just from my experience, we don't really care. Like, I don't care if I were a jury on Megan's case, I wouldn't care if she's a liar, if she's trifling. Okay, maybe to a certain extent, you probably care that they're a liar. But, it depends on what are the things that they're lying about. Is she lying about things that are relevant to the case? Okay, no one cares that she lied about who she slept with. No one cares that she lied to her best friend. No one cares that, she lied to whoever else. That stuff has nothing to do with who shot her. Now, if we're finding lies or holes in her story relating to the actual case, like that one thing I did notice was that none of the other witnesses mentioned hearing him say anything about B dance. That's something that I would have taken notice of. But outside of that, all of the other things that they kept trying to bring up really had nothing to do with her being shot. I don't care that she's a drunk. I don't care that she's trifling. I don't care that she's a bad friend, and then another thing that I see a lot of people talking about is reasonable doubt. What I think a lot of people aren't really understanding is that the defense did throw out all these like wild accusations and all kinds of things and try to place the gun in Kelsey's hand and all kinds of stuff, but it didn't make sense. That wasn't a reasonable. They didn't offer a reasonable alternate story. Like when they said that there were 5 shots that rang out and they were pretty much 5 consecutive shots, there wasn't like a time in between, and someone else could have took the gun or anything like that. Even with the other guy, Sean Kelly, saying that he saw a gun flash closest to Kelsey, he specifically said there was a gunshot closest to Kelsey, and then at another point later, Tory was waving the gun around in the air. There were 5 shots out. Megan immediately fell to the ground and crawled across the street. So based off of his own testimony that pretty much aligns with Kelsey's original testimony and Meg's testimony, it seems like Meg's the one, I'm sorry, not Meg, Tory's the one that shot her, because even if let's say the gun accidentally discharged, while Kelsey might have been holding it, whatever, there's no evidence, there's no testimony to show that anything that Kelsey may have done if she ever had the gun in her hand, there's no evidence to show that if a gun discharged while Kelsey was holding it, that it had any effect on Meg. You know what I'm saying? If she's still screaming, fighting, and stuff like that, I'm sure if she was shot, she would know. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Oh, another thing I don't like is how people are constantly bringing up Meg's history, but no one ever brings up Tory's history. Like, he has women that have come out and said that he's been physically abusive to them. He's beat up August Alsina. He's beat up Prince. He's beat up Travis Scott. He's beat up everybody. He just runs around just a little very violent, angry man. And even like the outburst that his dad had, we can see where like he gets that anger from. So I don't understand why there's this heavy focus on Meg lying or who Meg slept with when he has a clear violent history that's constantly being overlooked. So I think a lot of people are very biased. I hope she sues the heck out of all these reporters that have been extremely biased in the case, purposely like leaving out things in their reportings that were favorable to her and her side of the story. And the last thing I want to say, I'm gonna drop off. the people that are on the jury, these are people who are probably residents of Hollywood Hills, since that's where the crime happened. So, you know, the LA prosecutors, when they're looking for jurors, they're picking people, you know, from that area. They're not picking people in Compton. They're not picking people, and no offense to Compton, but I'm just saying they're not picking people in those areas. They're in the average salary in Hollywood Hills is like $200,000 a year. It ranges from like 200K to $1 million. So those people aren't looking at the Shade Room. So it doesn't matter that the Shade Room, DJ Academics, No Jumper, all them other people, Stay Cheese and all them. It doesn't matter that they're posting all these unfavorable reports. They're not, those people aren't, they're not watching that media. You know, if anything, they're watching Gayle King, where Meg did do the interview and explained, you know, what happened to her. So yeah, the hood news reporters and all the idiots in Shade Room, like, they don't really have an effect on the jury from that specific jury pool for that area. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having me. It was nice talking to you, Scotty.
All right, no problem, no problem. Thank you for coming up.
Bye.
All right, child, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name, but you next. I cannot pronounce it for nothing. What? Well, is it undeniably? Is that how you pronounce it?
You can call me Undeniable.
Okay. I just want to make sure I said it right because I will butcher a name, child. Go ahead.
No, you good. Call me Naya.
Okay, Naya.
All right. I'm a new subscriber.
Okay.
All right. So all I wanted to say was I am so happy for Meg. Even though this wasn't her trial, it was the state of California against Tory Lanez. And through all in all, she came up on top. So what I do want to say is make a point as to, no one's asking this, but why didn't Tory speak? We heard from Megan, we heard from Kelsey, we heard from everybody, but why didn't Tory speak? That is the only side we haven't heard from. This was his chance to give his side, full accounts, everything. I don't know if he was being scared to be questioned by the prosecution or anything like that, but he is the only side we didn't hear from. And no one's really speaking on it. He had his chance and he didn't say anything. He was dependent upon everybody else to flip his name. Yes, there was reasonable doubt. Kelsey said what she said back whenever she took it back. Megan been pointing the finger at him, but she had hella reasons to lie, of course. But Daystar was quiet. Very quiet. So I just came out here to point this out. And hopefully people can get the conversation going. He had his chance to speak, he didn't. And that's that.
All right then. Okay. Damn it, who was next? Did they leave? Okay, so I hate it when this thing does this. I've been trying to fix this shit all damn night. I think if I'm not mistaken, Presley was next. Because the person that was behind you had dropped in front of you, dropped, I believe. So the B-Bar Shelley person dropped. So you can go ahead and go next.
Okay, I just wanted to start off by saying also I just wanted to just kind of clear up everything that people who are against Meg are saying. The people who are saying that there was reasonable doubt, that's not true. Reasonable doubt only goes towards the charges, which is who owned the gun and who shot the gun. Tory's defense never placed doubt on who owned the gun and who shot the gun. They only placed doubt on the story and who actually and basically her sexual history with the story of went down. That has nothing to do with the charges. So that's not reasonable doubt. It does not count in the court of law. Um, Also, I wanted to mention about people saying, "Oh, well, she was twerking, 2 weeks after that," and those same people are the same ones who watch basketball players have like a sprained a sprained ankle or a torn ACL play for the basketball game. So you can cut that out. And also, everybody that's calling her, oh, she sleeps around, that has nothing to do with her being a victim of a shooting. So I wanted to uh, point that out as well. I also wanted to point out his father's reaction. I'm not sure if you saw that. I just got in here, so I'm not sure if earlier in the stream you played his father's reaction. Did you do that?
Yeah, I played that on the first live.
Yeah, I wanted to point out something with his father's reaction that it does kind of verify Tory's misogyny as well as his father's, because simply because he couldn't believe that a woman got justice in the court of law. So instead of, he didn't blame the court, he blamed Jay-Z and Rock Nation. So that's him showing right there that there's no way I could believe that a woman, especially a black woman, can get justice in the court of law. It it had to have been it had to have been a man outside of this. There's no way. Like, that's basically what it came off as to me.
Okay. That's all your commentary.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up and speaking your piece. This live look like it's going over the time that I expected it to. So this is what we're gonna do. The people that's up here, these will be the last people to speak because I can't be up here for too much longer. Okay. So next up is Kenya.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so first, hey, how y'all doing? I'm glad to be here, but I just wanted to add like some very quick context to it because I think everybody is. I've heard people say they're just shocked at the fact that the verdict came out the way it was, but I think it's important to remember that the jury is given instructions prior to deliberating, and the judge does give them the option to, because the defense, just like I think it was Mia, I think she had said that they didn't offer an alternative, so they just kind of muddied the water. And I think it's important to know that the judge can tell, like, because Kelsey was so all over the place and inconsistent, they can completely like strike her entire testimony. They don't even have to take that into consideration. They can take the audio or whatever, the interview that they had that she had with the police, they can use that and just, I guess, because whatever is more credible, and they not necessarily use common sense, but they do have the ability to apply like common sense to the situation and reasonable doubt. But I think that it's important, the word reasonable is, is it reasonable? Yes, she was shot, but what's more reasonable? Is it reasonable that all of these people, are over here being inconsistent, and this one, person is more consistent with her story versus everybody else? And I think also for like overall, whenever
Oh. Oh my God, she was going in too, and then oh God, I don't know what happened, but I guess we need to keep it going then until she comes back. LL Shady Gal, you back again? What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to come up and say one thing because I heard one of your callers bring it up about why Tory didn't testify. Because his team was stupid, but they weren't that damn stupid. Putting him on the stand would have then made him able to be crossed by the prosecutors. And you best your bottom dollar believe they would have brought up all of his past charges, his domestic violence issues, his assaults of August Alsina, Prince from Love and Hip Hop, the issues he had with Travis Scott. Like, boy would have really buried his bone. his testimony would have made him look even worse in the court's eye. And in terms of the teen talking about Meg's sexuality, her history, I don't care if she screwed the whole 2005 starting lineup of the Los Angeles Lakers. That don't mean the girl deserved to be shot. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Not a gosh darn thing. You can go and run a train or with every cute dog in the house, but don't mean they got a right to kill you or try to.
Well,
I'm just saying, like,
that's a fact.
How does that equal? Oh, she deserves to be shot. And at the end of the day, the boy's out here. The gun was his. His residue was all over his hands. Baby, it was his witness put him in jail. He brought his executioner to his trial. If anything, I'd be kicking my own ass if I was him before Bubba get to it. And on that note, I'm out, Scotty. You have a wonderful evening. Merry Christmas. Right. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Maya, you're back up. What you gotta say?
Can you hear me, Scotty?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just wanted to come back up because as I was watching the rest of the live, I kept thinking about the R. Kelly case in my mind, so I had to like do some quick research on it. So I wanted to ask you this. I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember a couple years ago, especially when Surviving R. Kelly happened the first season,
Mm-hmm.
a white juror who was a part of the case that got him acquitted said that the reason he let R. Kelly off was because he looked at those little black girls and thought that they looked too grown. He didn't think that they looked like a child.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong with that. As I was looking at that research, I was like, oh my God, this is another thing of people thinking black women are so much greater and older and just so much more than what we are. But at the end of the day, we bleed just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that just had me thinking, like, that's why a part of me was like, well, what if this could have been another case like that? There's video evidence of that man peeing on a child and he got away with it. So as much as we know about the fact that yes, Megan did get shot, I have seen people do way worse things and get off. There's somebody in my neighborhood who did some terrible things to some people and he is still walking the streets. So it's like there's no way he could get off, but like, what are you talking about? No, people get away with things every day. Just like how people go to jail for something they didn't do, there are people who stay out on the street who should be under the jail. So yeah, I just had to come back and say that because I was doing the research and I thought you had to know about it.
All right then. Well, thank you for coming back up. Tiffany, you're back up too. Damn, y'all came back up, child. Tiffany, you back up. What you got to say?
No, I'm gonna be real quick. It was something I was thinking about when I was back in the comments, but they started talking about the gun that Tory was using. My question right now is not even so much about Meg in particular, because I feel like I said, that nigga was guilty. She innocent. Blah blah blah. For those individuals who think that Kelsey is guilty, and keep in mind, they think that not only she's guilty, because I think she's guilty to an extent, but they think that she's guilty alone, as if he's innocent. Here's my question for them: if they proved that the bullet fragments came from Tory Lane's gun, and Kelsey shot the gun, well, how the hell did she get the gun in the first place? Are they even asking that? Not only that, anybody who actually shoots guns, and I know she's from Texas and all this other stuff, but if you shoot guns, you already know that you can't handle, all guns are not handled the same. You have to have like a certain level of like train. Now I don't want to say training, but you have to be familiar with the gun to even shoot it properly. Is anybody even thinking about that? Because I feel like it's just so much of, oh, she shot. This is not the movies. I know they like to pretend like, oh, you get a gun and you cannot handle a 38, a revolver, and a 9mm the same. They have different weights to them. The kickback on them is different. You have to be able to be familiar with the gun to even maintain it straight enough to even shoot it anywhere of any type of point, let alone just at her feet. So I want people to think about that when they start assuming, well, let's stop playing games. I know she's from Texas. I live in Texas. I'm not from Texas. Everybody, look, you have to be trained on a gun to know how to use it. to know how it's maneuvered. And I'm gonna just leave it at that, because I always think about that when they just assume that this drunk ass girl picked up a gun that's not hers, she's not familiar with, and she was able to just even shoot out in any type of real direction, not even knowing how to maintain it, the kickback on it and everything. But that's me being technical, and that's it. Okay, bye. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Turkey neck.
Can I come up?
Huh?
Can I come up? I haven't spoken yet.
Who? Oh, yeah, because you had dropped by mistake. Go ahead,
Yeah,
B. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Go
sorry.
ahead, B more.
Okay, so thank you for having me on. I like your show. I'm kind of like a background watcher or whatever, but I like the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too because you came a long way over the years. I've been like spot watching you for years.
Oh Lord, yes, Lord, I have come a long way,
Yeah,
child. That's the
yeah.
truth.
But yeah, but it's like a couple points that I want to make that nobody's making. One being the black community, we have a problem with the no snitching thing, and I come from Baltimore, so it's like, why are we telling regular citizens when they get injured that they can't call the police? Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a victim. Why can't you reach out for help? That's one. That's been perverted. Two, the thing about this case is, yeah, Megan lied a lot, but if you screwed your friends, man, would you be willing to tell the world that? Like, come on, let's be real. They
Mm.
know what was going on. Like if you was caught up in that type of situation and like it all happened at one time, can you imagine how that would transpire? That's exactly what happened. So everybody's uncomfortable, angry, arguing or whatever, and stuff happened. But at the same time, it was negligence. He knew he was negligent. He said that he had the gun, that the gun was his originally. But then, I don't know, it might be Kelsey, and like all these stories pop up. Like we have this timeline of how things transpired, well, a little bit, but it's enough for us to get the point of he was shooting. It was some type of negligence, a bullet ricocheted, and Meg got shot. So he needs to suffer the consequences. And I'm tired of like black men. They're all over these blogs and stuff. They're like, oh well, black men can't get a fair shot and all this other stuff. Most of the black men that are saying that have been victims of the prison system. And most of the men who are saying that were convicted because they did something dumb to get caught. Like, let's be real. So you're mad because you had to do 5 to 10 and you don't want the next black man to go down. But when you're wrong, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, I actually had to go to court for my like 73-year-old father because of an incident. And I actually told the judge, like, my father is a menace to society. And I hate to say that, but how long are we going to keep letting these black men get away with doing this? My father's been going to jail all my life. Dave Peterson or Dave Star or whatever, he's been doing stuff constantly. Like, they're not going to stop. Us as black women pampering these men is not helping them grow up. Like, that's not helping them get the lesson. Like, they're not getting it. Like, we just keep exuding all this energy. And for what? Meg got shot, and now it's all of a sudden she's a whore, she's this, she's that. I mean, we've all had our 20s. She's in her 20s. Like, leave her alone. Like, we all
Mm-hmm.
do stuff. So it's so many levels to that. Like, I just think as black people, we need to come together, but we're not going to come together because it's so much division. Like, we have to, as black women, yes, we love our sons and our fathers or whatever, but I'm not going to stand in nobody's courtroom and lie for my father. Therefore, I'm not going to stand in nobody's courtroom and lie for nobody else. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's the principle of it. And like, I don't know, it's kind of personal for me, but like I told my sibling, and it's kind of the same with this case. The father come outside hooting and hollering and God and God and God. Like, sir, if you don't cut it the fuck out, I mean, I'm sorry, I cursed. Like, if you don't cut
You
it out,
good.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you act like your son is a God-fearing man. He just was beating up August Alsina last week.
Exactly.
Like, come on, sir. Like, he just beat up the baby mother 2 months ago, last year. You know what I mean? Like, stop acting like this man is just so perfect and, oh my God, the system screwed him. No, the system is flawed. Let's be honest. But when you go out here messing with people and doing stuff, the consequences come back. Don't cry to me. But that's
Period.
what I gotta say. Thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate the time.
No problem. Thank you for coming up.
Okay, bye-bye. I mean, I'm a bye.
All right. I don't know what happened to Jeremy. He probably had to go, but we're gonna close this thing out with "Feel Good." Now that's the commentary I want to hear. So, what you got to say about it before we go?
Scotty,
Yeah,
Scotty, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, first off, I want to thank May May for being the speaker of the night. She spoke nothing but facts and the truth. And B. More Shelley said the same thing. We as Black people have to acknowledge when it comes to Black women, most violent crimes against Black women are perpetrated by Black men. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one. Second of all, Tory Lanez never said he didn't shoot the girl. I have not heard him say, I did not shoot this girl. He has never said that. They telling if Megan Thee Stallion said Phil shot her, I ain't shoot her. Kelsey shot her. Whomever shot her. He never admitted that. And as far as about her lying about she slept with him, what does that have to do with it? She was shot. We got to focus on facts, not feelings. Our feelings are not always facts.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how we feel about somebody, the girl said from the start, Tory shot me. She never changed on that. It was a lot of hoopla and all this other stuff. Yeah, maybe she does have some bad behavior. Maybe she is an angry drunk. Maybe she was a bad friend. But who shot the girl is the question. And Tory Lanez never said I did not shoot her. If he said it, I want to hear him say it. But he didn't, because he shot her. He didn't say Kelsey shot her. He didn't say the driver shot her. It was only the four of y'all. Who shot the girl? If it's
Period.
not you, then who?
Period.
It's so strange. And I'm reading the comments online by these men saying that, oh, we're victims of society and we're victims of the justice system. Like the caller B. More Shelley just said, every Black man in the prison system is not a victim. And a lot of those men are perpetrators against violence against their own supposedly brother and sister. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. You Black like this, you're not Black like me.
Period.
But I just want us, it's gonna be a lot of hoopla and comments. But if Tory Lanez didn't shoot her, then tell us who did.
Exactly.
Because now you sitting in the county, and I don't know why he brought his child. Bringing that child to that courtroom was inappropriate. But if you ain't shoot her, you better tell who did, because you taking a hook for it. So hey, yo, if you ain't got no problem with going to jail for doing something you didn't do because you don't want to tell, that's on you, not me. And thank you, Scotty, for letting us talk.
No problem. I had to, because at the end of it all, I wasn't even intended on going live tonight. Like, I just thought I was just going to be, I knew I was going to go live, but I didn't think they was going to have a verdict tonight. I thought I was going to be focused more so on my best man commentary and shit tonight. But then as I sat on my bed after I got done doing my Candy and Tamar video, they said the verdict is about to be released. I said, I know I got to jump on this shit right now. So I hurried up and I jumped on, and then I said, well, you know what? I know I'm gonna have to do a live chat about this. I'm gonna have to let the people come up and speak their minds. And I know that this is probably gonna be a topic of discussion for the next couple of weeks. You know what I mean? I just want to see what everybody has to say. I want to see what Joe Budden has to say. He's one of the main people that's been talking crap. I want to see what DJ Chipmunk Ademics has to say, because he's been one of the main ones to say. There's other bloggers out there that have been like on the rails just going in on this lady, and I just want to know what they all got to say about it. So I most definitely had to let you guys come up and give y'all opinions on it.
Well, we always appreciate it. Get you some rest.
Yeah, because I'm yawning like hell right now. But thank you for coming up, Feel Good. I really appreciate it, and I always look forward to you coming up and giving your take on things. I really appreciate your commentary.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you for keeping us hip on what's going on and giving us this opportunity and just bringing us all together.
No problem. No problem. I will always do that. As long as I'm still doing this, I will always do that.
All right. Good night.
Good night, and thank you once again. Okay, and that was pretty much it. I want to thank all of you guys that participated in the conversation tonight. I really appreciate it. This was a great conversation. And on top of that, it went smoothly. No yelling, no screaming, no over talking. It went just right. Just the way I needed it to. I definitely appreciate it, y'all. I watched Armand's live. I suggest you guys go watch his live because it was great. I watched it. He told nothing but facts. I think the official King Payne is on live right now. So if you decide, if you want to hear more commentary on this particular subject, go over there to the official King Payne's platform and let him know that I sent you guys over there because he's on live right now talking about it. There's a lot of people that's gone live today. It's been a YouTube frenzy today. But we already knew that was going to be the case. Okay, so yes. But one more thing before I go, be sure to tune in to Young, Fresh, and New tomorrow morning, and it will be featuring J to the BTV, and also tune in to Who Was Wrong on Christmas morning, which will be featuring Really BTV, and we'll be talking about the beef between Heavenly and Mariah Hook on Married to Medicine. With that being said, you guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation and everything else. There probably won't be that many videos between Christmas Eve and Christmas. It may be a little bit slow on content, but that I might be lying on that because I still got to do my best man commentary. So be on the lookout for more commentary. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out of here. And until the next one, I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Tramel. I just wanted to say that I have a new project that's out. It's called Mixed Feelings. It's on all streaming platforms. I would hope that you would go and check it out. It's a really good feel of an album. It's got everything you need and more. It's got R&B, it's got a little bit of pop, it's got a little bit of hip hop. It's everything that you need and more. It's out all streaming platforms, like I said. Please check me out, and you can also follow me at IAM_Tramel. That's IAM_TRAMEL. Check me out. Hope to hear from you.